So as you think about organizations who are doing this really well and considering what systems they put in place to recognize where these problems might exist, what types of conversations are they having? Are they setting aside time quarterly to have a real deep discussion about what are the risks that are out there, where they see these problems? What insights do you have
Right.
based on working with companies and other organizations?
Yeah, the first principle of management is if you don't spend any time on it, you don't have a prayer of trying to figure it out. The other principle of management, of course, is if people are not paying attention to the results of whatever that effort is, then it's not going to be, if you're not measuring it, you're not going to spend a lot of time on it. So I think you got to build time into your regular meetings, and I don't want to be bureaucratic and spend a lot more time. I'm sure everyone listening to this is in more than enough meetings, but take some of that time, allot some of that time. And one of the little techniques I've used along the lines of trying to identify these early warning systems is, it's going to sound a little bit odd, but I call it mistake of the month meeting, if you will. And during a regularly scheduled meeting, the leader of the team talks about something that went wrong and what she learned from it, or he learned from it, how to fix it, what the lessons are, and hopefully beginning to create a culture. Because that's really what we're talking about, right? A culture of people speaking up and talking about what's going wrong. Because, the funny thing about early warning signs and mistakes is when something goes wrong in an organization and a team, it's not like you're the only one who knows. Everybody knows about that. And to pretend otherwise, actually, I think leaders, will lose more credibility rather than gain credit. Will lose credibility by not speaking up and not talking about it. So whether you want to use a mistake of the month method, or you want to talk about, okay, what are some of the near misses? In the airline industry, that's something that people talk about. We hope we don't have any near misses, but we might. And actually, in healthcare, there's a long tradition. I think in the States we call it morbidity and mortality meetings. And I'm not sure if that's a term used all over the world, but after an operation or procedure, very often the team will get together and talk about what went right and what went wrong, and you have to do it in a very open way. The military, of course, has classic a debriefing after a mission.
After action review.
After
yes.
action review, exactly. And these are not complicated. It's not rocket science, but if you don't do those types of things, how are you ever going to learn?